Good morning to everybody. Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Edmonton. My name is Susan Ruttan. What happened there? And I am your service leader today, helping Reverend Rosemary. We are, as most of you know, one of two Unitarian churches in the city, and we are part of a whole network of Unitarian communities across the country. Now, first, silence your devices, everybody. And then we will have announcements. Yeah, I know Maria. Yep, okay, those of you. Yeah. Anyways, whoever gets here first starts.
Good morning, my name is Karen Mills. My pronouns are she and her. We are having a 50-50 raffle in this church. And so there are posters up on the walls in the foyer. Information is in the newsletter and in Friday emails. And you can go either to a website or use the QR codes that are on the posters and in the emails. But if that's not comfortable for you, I brought my laptop today, and I'll be in the lobby after the service and can help you navigate that. And the more we put in, the more the winner takes home and the more the congregation takes home, and it will be a nice little after holiday season bonus for somebody.
All right, yep, tall enough, great. Good morning, my name is Alara Stefanyikadet. I'm used to the handheld, y'all. My pronouns are they, them. I'm here to announce that we have our Canadian Unitarian Fall Gathering coming up next week. It's going to be fully online, but there's the opportunity to pod together and have a harvest dinner Friday night. It's gonna be really fun, and then we're gonna end with the service on Sunday, so if anyone wants to, the registration is just on the Canadian Unitarian Council events calendar.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Declan Kiley. My pronouns are he, him. I'm going to talk to you about the movie night. We host a monthly movie night that is related to our soul matters. Every month here in the sanctuary for free. We do it on the last Friday of every month at 6 p.m. So this month it will be November 28th, 6 p.m. right here. We're going to be watching The Gift, which is a movie that has been described as an expertly crafted psychological, character-driven movie starring Jason Bateman, Rebecca Hall, and Joel Edgerton. This is not just a movie night, but also a social event. So it'll be nice and quiet like a movie theater while we're watching the movie. And then afterwards, we all pull our chairs around and we discuss the movie, particularly related to our Soul Matters theme of nurturing gratitude. But you can also talk about any other themes that jump out to you. So bring all your friends and family, bring a snack and a drink, and come around. So yeah, we're super excited to have you.
Hello, my name is John Turvey and my pronouns are he, him. As a member of the UCE Endowment Committee, along with Ruth Marriott and Jan McMillan, one of our main tasks is reminding people about the endowment fund and its importance, as well as your role in helping to keep it growing. So this reminder comes from a place of respect and compassion. Too often the greatest contributions to the fund come in tandem with the grief of loss or the bittersweet memory of time shared with those who have meant so much to us and to whom the UCE has meant so much. 7 such individuals have been honored among 15 donations this year. Of course, endowments can also mark happy occasions, from birthdays to bar mitzvahs. Whatever the occasion, we would like to remind you that the endowment contribution envelopes are set out at the main door to the sanctuary for your convenience. Please note also that UCE will issue a tax receipt for any identified contributions to the endowment fund, as it would for any other of your generous donations. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Maria Odekirk, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm pretty sure you know why I'm up here, because we do have an event planned for next week after the service, which is the CUC fall, pardon? Before the service.
Yeah.
I'm confused now. Yes, I know it's pancakes. Don't tell me that part. It's time that I'm confused about, please.
Oh, yeah, we're going to eat pancakes and watch the CUC National Service at the same time. So we got to make them ahead of time. And then you eat them while you watch the service. It's actually a trick to get you out.
Okay, so timing aside, here is the issue we have. As of when the gong sounded this morning, we have people to set up, we have people to clean up, we have people providing the griddles to make the pancakes. We have no one signed up to actually help out in the kitchen making the pancakes. That is a very vital part of this event. So here's the thing, my friends. If we do not get any volunteers in the kitchen, this event will be canceled. We will know by the end of coffee hour. Because that's all I can do, right? So please, if you have any pancake making expertise at all and are willing to come out a bit early, I will pin down the exact time that this has to happen and email it out to anyone who signs up so that you will have that information, because clearly the information I put on the sheets is not entirely accurate. I mean, honestly, that too. Pancake making curiosity is welcome in our kitchen. So please, sign-up sheets are on the credenza. I had them on the membership table last week and decided there was far too much happening at the membership table, so they are on the credenza now if you are looking to sign up. Thank you.
Good morning. Ah, that's so much better. Thank you. Thank you. That warms my heart. My name is the Reverend Rosemary Morrison. My pronouns are she and her, and I am privileged and honored to serve this congregation. And I have two announcements. Please come out for pancakes. It'll be so much fun. That's not part of my announcements. So next week, as Alara said, is the CUC National Service, and I really want to encourage you to come. And I know that it's often, it's just the CUC National Service, but I think it's really important for us to feel more connected, or as connected as we can, to our governing body, the Canadian Unitarian Council. It promises to be a really good service, and you'll get to have some pancakes and things while we're at it. I wanted to mention the UU's on Tap that is happening on the last Wednesday of this month at 3 Vikings. I'll be there by 6 o'clock. It's just a time of getting together and visiting with one another in a relaxed, informal setting where no one has to cook or clean or do dishes. And we can just visit one another and get to know one another better. We had advertised that after the service today, there would be a new to UU session. We're going to postpone that and maybe do a little better. We don't have a critical mass, as you might. We don't have a critical mass, so we're postponing that into February. So, but that'll be coming out soon. All right, I think that's it. That's a lot of announcements. And I'm really happy that there's so many announcements. You know why? Means stuff's happening around here. There's lots going on. This is a vibrant, exciting community to be a part of.
This community is a Hello. This community is a group of free-thinking, spiritually questing individuals joined in common support and action. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. We gather in gratitude this morning on Treaty 6 land. We never forget that we live in a province that had more residential schools than any other part of Canada. We acknowledge the huge damage that has done, but we also know that the large Indigenous population in this city, which is nearly 90,000, gives us so much in so many ways. Now we will have a prelude. I think. The prelude is to be a monastic chant from the Thich Nhat Hanh Plum village.
The chalice is the symbol of our faith. We light a chalice each morning as we gather. Susan Ruttan is going to light the chalice for us this morning. Susan is our board secretary and has, I think, held most of the different positions in this organization and has been on the CUC board and puts her time and effort tirelessly into this congregation and into our movement. Thank you, Susan. The chalice lighting words are, of course, by Thich Nhat Hanh. Around us, life bursts with miracles. A glass of water, a ray of sunshine, a leaf, a caterpillar, a flower, laughter, raindrops. If you live in awareness, it is easy to see miracles everywhere. Each human being is a multiplicity of miracles. Eyes that see thousands of colors, shapes and forms. Ears that hear a bee flying or a thunderclap. A brain that ponders a speck of dust as easily as the entire cosmos. A heart that beats in rhythm with the heartbeat of all beings. When we are tired and feel discouraged by life's daily struggles, we might not notice those miracles, but they are always there. Our opening hymn is hymn number 38, Morning Has Broken. It is my favorite hymn, and I know it is a not favorite hymn of many people, so I don't pick it very often. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Now, sharing our abundance. Have we got a couple of volunteers? Yep. This community is entirely self-governing and self-supporting. We provide all the financial support of our many ministries from among ourselves. Generosity is one of the spiritual values we recognize as central to our personal and institutional well-being. Of course, we also help others. 1/2 of the unidentified cash that is received each Sunday is given to a special organization or cause. This month, we are supporting the Edmonton Food Bank, which provides food hampers to about 40,000 families at the moment. Those of us who volunteer at the food bank, and Rosemary and I are two that do pretty well every 2 weeks, have seen the pressure that the food bank is under. A couple of years ago, we would get a lot of good frozen meat, fish, chicken for people. These days, we get almost none. We get packaged frozen dinners, which may have a little bit of meat in them, but they're mainly filler stuff. And a lot of our immigrants don't really do frozen dinners. You know, they want things to cook with. And it's just they don't have enough money. So if anything that you can give, really appreciate it. So let us remain seated and sing, "From You I Receive."
Children's story. Oh, I love you all. Thank you. I love children's story. I know there's a couple people here that don't, but that's okay. Because next week there won't be any. So, you're making me so happy. The story this morning is called I Am Peace, and I'm having an allergic response to something that was in the air over the weekend at a workshop I was at. I am not sick, but I'm probably going to cough a few times this morning, but you don't need to worry about me. I'll be fine. I Am Peace, a book of mindfulness. And before we start this book, I want to this whole service has been created and engineered to kind of be a time for you to take a long, deep breath for this hour together. So everything is about mindfulness. Everything is based on Thich Nhat Hanh's work, and I'll be teaching you a little bit about him later on. I Am Peace, a book of mindfulness by Susan Verde and art by Peter H. Reynolds. There are times when I worry about what might happen next and what might happen before. The thoughts in my head are like rushing water, and I feel like a boat with no anchor, being carried away. Do you ever feel like that? I give myself a moment. I take a breath. Let's take a breath. And then I tell myself, it's all right. I feel the ground beneath my feet, and I steady myself. And start to notice the here and the now. My thoughts begin to settle. My mind begins to clear. I am peace. I can watch my worries gently pop and disappear. I let things go. I can say what I feel inside out loud. I know myself. I know myself. I can share kindness with others. I make a difference. You make a difference. We all make a difference. Mind your way, Lauren. And then the acorn drops and the oak tree appears. I can hug a tree and thank it for all its beauty and strength. I connect to nature. I can watch the clouds make shapes against the sky. I know wonder. I can taste and smell and touch and hear and see what is all around me. I use my senses. I can feel my breath, fill my whole body. I tune into me. Now the water is still. I have found my anchor, and everything is all right. I don't need to worry about before or after. I am in this moment. I am peace. Now I share my peace with others and hope that it is carried away to those who need it. And I dream we are peace. And I dream we are all peace.
We are now going to sing hymn 1009, Meditation on Breathing. They can stay seated.
Oh, maybe not. Would you like to introduce it, Karen?
Oh, right, this is,
Thank you. Would have been good to ask you beforehand.
All right, I think most of us know this song, but it always helps to have a little direction and guideposting. So there are 3 different pieces to this song. You can choose whichever you like. There's the simplest, which is also the lowest vocal range, and it's basically a chant, and it's just breathe in, breathe out. So that's that, and it just keeps going. There's a middle range, and then there's kind of a higher descant that goes over top of that. So what I would ask is that you pick one part to start with, and we'll just sort of get established. And then if you want to flip parts, totally fine, and experiment with what feels best for you. But just to keep us grounded, let's kind of just center and get ourselves a beat going. So if you just kind of have your hand here, and we'll just count in a 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that going throughout. No need to rush, no need to feel any tension. And then whoever would like to sing the lower chant part, just come in with me. Here we go. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe. If that's too fast for you, you can take it slower. Breathe in, breathe out. If you like that part, keep it going. We'll bring the second part in. Breathe out, breathe in. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, now I'll bring the higher part. I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe I'll breathe in peace when I breathe out. I'll breathe out love when I breathe in. I'll breathe in peace when I breathe out. I'll breathe out love.
So the service leader gets to do a short reflection, and here goes. I'm inspired by the theme of the month, which is gratitude. And in this case, I'm going to talk about my gratitude for the building we're sitting in, which started off as kind of a workplace building, and 20 years ago became our church. I was here Wednesday night working at the food bank, and we were kind of winding up, and I went to the main doors to take a sign off that we had put on there, and inside the doors there was a guy standing there, and I thought, okay, how did you get in? You know, do you have a key? And I talked to him, and he said, well, he's part of an Ethiopian group that comes here to pray. And among my many jobs, I'm the Reynolds chair for this church, and I know that Ethiopians come here and do a bunch of different things, and I think they are a version of Christians, and they come here to pray. That seemed good to me. Next night was choir night, Thursday night, and I was watching the choir members come in, and a couple of other people were coming in as well, and I looked down the hall here, and there was a sign that said AA this way, and of course it's Alcoholics Anonymous, which has been using this building for many years, and they always have a sign up because they get new people all the time. And that's kind of what I love about this building. It is home to a whole lot of places. There are groups that come every week, like various choirs. There's the Bridge Club that comes Thursday afternoons. There are groups that come every month, like the Dragging Youth, which I guess was last night. They come once a month. And they attract a whole different group of people than many of us can imagine. But I have been told that when a young person is performing, their parents and even their grandparents will be there. It's that kind of comfortable place. We have groups that come occasionally. One of my favorites is a group of women that book 5 days in the kitchen in the summer, and they cook up a storm of Caribbean food. Smells incredible, and they take it to the Kerry West Festival, and I think they sell it. They come every year, and if you see them in there, they're having so much fun, and they know that kitchen because they're here every year. And so in a little way, this is their building too. The most important group that we share with is the company that takes the third part of our building at the front. That is Open Doors, and they are a tutoring company. They started as a company in 2016 in our building, and they've been here ever since, and they are just a dream to work with. They help us to keep this thing going. Their main clientele are injured workers who are on workers' compensation, and workers' comp requires some of them to come and upgrade their schooling. But what the staff tell me is that when they come here, they start talking to each other, sharing stories, going out to smoke together, and they connect. And many of those people otherwise would be sitting at home. It's just a good place for them. And Open Doors in particular gives us a lot of income to keep this building going, and so do many of the other groups. But it's not just about money. It's about having a place that is comfortable and useful for everybody, from injured workers to people from Africa. A lot of churches out there, you probably know, are struggling to survive. And some of them dream of being what we are, but their building is often not suitable, their location maybe not suitable, and the parking may not be suitable. This building, not a thing of beauty, has all of that, and it just works. And I am happy to be here because it's alive, not just on Sunday mornings, but days and evenings. So let us be grateful for it. Thank you. Now, Maria is going to do a reading.
This is from Peace is Every Step by Thich Nhat Hanh. The foundation of happiness is meditation. The basic condition for being happy is our consciousness of being happy. If we are not aware that we are happy, we are not really happy. When we have a toothache, we know that not having a toothache is a wonderful thing. But when we do not have a toothache, we are still not happy. A non-toothache is very pleasant. There are so many things that are enjoyable, but when we don't practice mindfulness, we don't appreciate them. When we practice mindfulness, we come to cherish these things, and we learn how to protect them. By taking good care of the present moment, we take good care of the future. Working for peace in the future is to work for peace in the present moment.
Thank you. I was chatting with a congregant in my office this week, and I asked them, if you were to go to a service about Thich Nhat Hanh, what would you want to learn? And they said, Thich Nhat who? So I thought, okay, that's a good place to start. Maybe we'll start there. So from the Plum Village website, I'll be talking about Plum Village quite a bit. Plum Village is a global community of mindfulness practice centers offering retreats and teachings on engaged Buddhism and the art of mindful living. Founded by Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, Thich Nhat Hanh was a global spiritual leader, poet, peace activist, renowned for his powerful teachings and best-selling writings on mindfulness and peace. Just going to make sure I'm not muted. Oh, I am. He was a gentle, humble monk. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called him an apostle of peace and nonviolence when nominating him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Exiled from his native Vietnam for almost 4 decades, Thich Nhat Hanh has been a pioneer bringing Buddhism and mindfulness to the West and establishing an engaged Buddhist community for the 21st century. It's the end of that quote. Thich Nhat Hanh, or Tay as he was called, because Thich means teacher, and he was an exemplary teacher throughout his life. And I'll give you a little snapshot into his life. He was born in 1926 in central Vietnam, and when the Vietnam War was on, he was in the north, or the communist. He passed away in 2022, 7 years after suffering a severe stroke. In his biography, he apparently wanted to be a monk from a very early age. He went to a gathering, and there were monks there when he was just a boy. And he decided then, when he was a boy, that he was going to be a Buddhist monk. And he did become a novice monk. He went into the monastery at the age of 16. Right away, he was seen as progressive. I think he would have made a really good Buddhitarian. He wanted to bring life to Vietnamese Buddhism and bucked many trends by doing very un-monk-like things. Like he was the first monk to ever ride a bicycle and one of the first to ever drive a car. He also wanted to know more about the world and therefore studied secular subjects at the university in Saigon. His accomplishments are too vast to name. However, it is safe to say that he mobilized hundreds of thousands of people to work for peace outwardly while exploring peace internally. Sometimes when I'm having trouble calming my own mind, my own monkey mind I call it, I am reminded of something someone told me a few decades ago. And I'll say to myself, when battling my own brain, if Thich Nhat Hanh could meditate in Vietnam while the bombs were exploding, I can quiet myself here and now and meditate for just a few minutes in the comfort and silence of my own home. Thich Nhat Hanh was a scholar. He entered Princeton Theological Seminary in 1961 to study comparative religion and then taught at Columbia University. When I read his long list of accomplishments, I am struck by how many things he created and how many things he founded. Publishing houses, magazines, a university in Saigon, a school of youth and social services. All of his endeavors were bathed in the principles of nonviolence and compassionate action. In 1966, Thich Nhat Hanh was traveling once more in the US and Europe, activating interest in calling for the end of the Vietnam War. It was then that he was exiled for speaking out against the war and was not able to return to his homeland for nearly 40 years. In reading his biography, I was struck by how he worked together with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and also one of my favorite monks, Thomas Merton from Gethsemane in the southern states. And if you know anything about the history of activism during the Vietnam War, you will know about the Berrigan brothers. They and Thich Nhat Hanh were close friends and allies and activists together, speaking out against the Vietnam War. He did so many things. I'm off script. He did so many things. We probably, most of us can remember the boat people, and he would charter boats, big boats, to go in and rescue people off the oceans because they were not safe. It's just huge, the amount of things that he did. When I read his biography, I'm like, how in the world did one person do all of these things? And also influence us to be more mindful and more aware of our breath, of the present moment. Just amazing. He taught at universities around the world. He founded Plum Village, a center in France with over 10,000 visitors each year. He was a poet, an artist, a prolific writer with dozens of published and best-selling books. He opened monasteries all over the world, some in North America, some Indonesia, all over. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Although he didn't win, Dr. King said of him, "I do not personally know of anyone more worthy of the Nobel Peace Prize than this gentle Buddhist monk from Vietnam." He believed Han's ideas could build a monument to This is a word that I struggle with. Can somebody else say it? Perfect. That. to develop beloved community and to humanity. There are many strains of Buddhism, just like there are many strains of all world religions, where there's denominations in every faith, in Muslim, in Christianity, and the different degrees. One of Thay's greatest accomplishments is that he brought Buddhism out of obscurity and created something that was more easily accessible to the layperson. All of John Kabat-Zinn's, or not all of, but there was a time in the early 2000s, the 1990s, when everybody was talking about mindfulness, right? And doing mindfulness based stress reduction courses, and it was all based on Thay's work, pretty much, because he was the one that kind of said, okay, let's get it out of the monasteries. Let's get this work, this beautiful work, out of the monasteries and out of the hands of just the dedicated monks and into the hands of everyone, because everyone needs to understand mindfulness and how being mindful can bring peace. There's that saying, if you want peace in the world, you have to have peace in your land. And if you want to have peace in your land, you have to have peace in your home. And if you want to have peace in your home, you have to have peace in your heart. And I think that was his work, that he really exemplified that. We all have to have peace in our heart if we want peace in the world. I could just keep talking and talking about him. Thanks to my friend Jeff, who got me a lot of books, I've been kind of doing a big deep dive. So we really have him to thank for mindfulness being a household word and for mindfulness being practiced by millions of people around the globe. Perhaps the most concrete and easily understood for us is his 5 mindfulness teachings. And this is from the Plum Village website. And we don't have time to go into these in any depth at all, but I encourage you to do that on your own. The 5 mindfulness teachings represent the Buddhist vision for a global spirituality and ethic. They are a concrete expression of the Buddha's teachings on the 4 Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, the path of right understanding and true love, leading to healing, transformation, and happiness for ourselves and for the world. To practice the 5 mindfulness trainings is to cultivate the insight of interbeing, a term I believe coined by him, or right view, which can remove all discrimination, intolerance, anger, fear, and despair. If we live according to the 5 mindfulness trainings, we are already on the path of a Bodhisattva. Knowing we are on that path, we are not lost in confusion about our life in the present or in fears about the future. And that is the end of that quote. And these are the 5 mindfulness teachings, and I'm just going to name them, and I invite you to look into this because there's so much to learn and to live. I think the most important part of his work is that we don't just learn about it, we live it. The 5 mindfulness teachings are reverence for life, the interdependent web of which we are all a part. True happiness, true love, loving speech and deep listening, being in right relation, nourishment and healing. Each of these mindfulness teachings begin with the phrase, aware of the suffering caused by, and he goes into it, and is followed up by examples and a commitment to live into the principles of nonviolence, care, compassion, and inclusivity. Reading through them, I was certainly struck, as I say, about how his These principles align so closely with our own Unitarian Universalism principles. Buddhism and Unitarian Universalism are not mutually exclusive. Thich Nhat Hanh asked us to take the teachings of Buddha and bring them into our daily lives. He helped us see that through mindfulness we can achieve this higher self. He taught that mindfulness isn't about sitting for hours or going away on retreats, but bringing mindfulness into our everyday lives. You've probably heard the saying, if you're doing the dishes, just do the dishes, right? And bringing mindfulness into those daily tasks. So remembering to be mindful when we walk, when we eat, when we work, when we vacuum, when we do the dishes, and when we do the laundry. He also taught that we need reminders throughout our day to bring us back to center. Some people, and I've done this in the past and I might do it in the future, I don't know, put mindfulness bells on their computer to ring randomly throughout the day to remember to take a breath and move into being rather than staying in doing, right? So he really uses the sound of the bell to invite peace and centeredness into his life. And he suggests that you could use the ding on your phone, and every time it dings, to take a breath and to center yourself. Or you could use something else, right? Anything. However, talking about mindfulness is sort of like talking about swimming. You can talk about it all you want. However, it is in doing the thing, it is in swimming that you understand swimming. To understand mindfulness, you must practice mindfulness, in other words. Not talk about it or listen to me talk about it or read about it. So let's take some time to be mindful now. We're going to bring the lights down. I invite you to take a couple of deep, long breaths. Feel your feet on the floor if you like. Allow the chair to hold you. Sink into it. Can you feel the gravity pull you towards center, towards the earth? You can let your muscles go. The earth will hold you. The chair will hold you. The love expressed in this room will hold you. I invite you to get comfortable. And in a few moments, just take a few more deep breaths. And in a few moments, Andrew will begin our next video. And I invite you to just be with it. To breathe, focus on your breath, enjoy the beauty of the pictures and the beauty of the sound. And it is in Thich Nhat Hanh's voice. Each Sunday, and often in between times as well, we light candles of joy and concern. We light them to bring to life and to light those things that are in our lives that we need to mark. So we light a candle to express our humanity, to let others know that we are human, and to remind ourselves that we are human. One of the things that Thich Nhat Hanh talks about is, putting a smile on your face, even a half smile, and how it changes our inner world immediately as soon as we smile or even have a half smile. It relaxes our face. It changes our mood, our countenance. I invite you, as you light candles of joy and concern, to smile if you want. Or just a half smile. The tables are ready. Please light candles of joy and concern as you would like. strains of the music fade away, Susan Ruttan is lighting a last candle for us for all those joys and concerns we hold in our hearts. Maybe we don't even know what they are yet. Maybe we haven't finished the thought. And Thich Nhat Hanh would say, if you meditate, practice mindfulness, these things will appear and you'll be able to get through them as we practice mindfulness. Let's just take a moment, take a breath together. I always love the beauty of the lights the candles that you light, representing your humanness, your love, the spark of divinity within each of us, or love and light, or whatever you want to call it. It's so good to be together and to share our lives, isn't it? The last hymn this morning is hymn number 1031, Meditation on Breathing. Did I have that right? Filled with Loving Kindness. We already sang that one. Right. Okay, please rise in body or in spirit and sing together the last hymn. You may be seated.
Some closing words as Reverend Rosemary extinguishes the flame. From Thich Nhat Hanh. Peace is present right here and now in ourselves and in everything we do and see. Every breath we take, every step we take can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. The question is whether or not we are in touch with it. We need only to be awake, alive in the present moment.
Thank you, Susan. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here in person in the sanctuary. For those of you online, thank you for being here. I hope you found nourishment, rest, a time of a break from our busy, busy lives, to just take a moment. I'd like to thank everyone that helped put on this service, from Susan and Karen to the tech team and the slide producers and all of the people. It takes so many folk to put on these services, and I am so grateful for we can't do it alone. It takes all of us to make it, doesn't it? And I offer you these words of benediction to keep in your hearts until we can be back together again, to be renewed in our bodies and our minds and our spirits. So do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. Things can break and things can be mended, but not with time, as they say, with intention. So I invite you to go and love intentionally, and love extravagantly, and mindfully, and absolutely in all ways be love, for the broken world waits in darkness for you are light. Go in peace, gentle people, go in peace. And now we will sing our linking song, Carry the Flame. The words are up here. If you're new, we make a weird circle. And as I often say, everyone's going to try to hold your hand, but you don't have to. So let me turn off.